Hi everybody, I'm going to show you how I make my delicious yellow squash casserole. It's cheesy, it's a quick recipe, and it's the perfect side dish. Let's get started. Now I've got my yellow squash ready to go. I already washed them and dried them. I'm going to go ahead and cut them into small, medium cubes. You don't want the cubes too small because they can get mushy on you, and you don't want them real big either. Just a small, medium size. I'm going to start by removing the ends like this. Then I'm going to cut them in half, and then again, and then into small, medium-sized cubes like this. Now, when you're out shopping for squash, look for the ones that are a little lighter yellow. The lighter the color, the fresher they are. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I've made this yellow squash casserole many times to accompany many main dishes. I've served this as a side dish when I have fried fish, when I've made meatloaf, baked chicken, or barbecued outside, and it always goes perfect. It's just a never fail dish. Now, a lot of people like to slice them. I like them in cubes, but you can slice them if you want. I just think that when you slice them up, they get mushy, and I just don't like a mushy squash casserole. So that's why I like to cut them into cubes. But if you want them in slices, you can do that. So I've got them all done here. I'm going to clean up my area and go to the next step. So I've got my heat set on a little bit higher than medium. And I've got 4 slices of bacon right here. And I've cut them into small cubes. Now, this is thick cut bacon, and I will be adding this into my casserole. So I'm going to go ahead and fry them until they're nice and crispy. Now, you can leave your bacon out if you don't want to use it in your casserole dish, but I just think that the bacon is so good in this casserole. So you see, I'm going to let it fry until it's got a nice golden color, and then we'll be flipping it around. So now I'm going to flip my bacon around like this. See? And it's at this time that I'm going to add my onions. I've got about 3/4 of a small onion here, and I've cut it up into small pieces, and I'm going to bring it in together until my onions are nice and translucent, and at the same time my bacon will continue to cook in here. Oh my gosh, there's nothing better than onions and bacon when they're frying. I wish you could smell this. It smells wonderful. Now, as you can see, my onions are nice and translucent, and my bacon is nice and crispy. I'm going to go ahead and remove them, and I'm going to put them onto this plate. And then I'll be setting them aside. So I have set my onions and my bacon aside. I went ahead and put the plate at a slant so that all the grease will just run off, because we don't want a greasy casserole dish. Now, in this same skillet, I'm going to go ahead and add my squash. See? Now, as you can hear the sizzle, that's exactly what I want, because I want to give it a nice little char. Now, many people like to boil their squash in hot boiling water, and then they like to squash it down and remove all the liquid. But I just think that when you do that, you remove a lot of the nutrients that the squash has. So instead, I always like to sear it just like this. And this is how I like to prepare my squash. So I'm going to let it sizzle like that for just a little bit before I toss it anymore. A little toss here. See? Now I've got it on medium-high heat. And I've also got half of a small orange bell pepper right here, and I've gone ahead and cut it into small pieces like this. I'm going to go ahead and add it in here. This is optional. If you don't want to use it in here, you can leave it out, but I just think that it gives it a very good flavor. You don't want your squash to get real limpy, but you just want to cook it up just a little bit like this. Now, as you can see, my squash has a beautiful color on it. You see the nice char that it has? That's exactly what I wanted. It's not lumpy, but it's just perfect in texture. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off my heat. So I've got everything situated here, ready to put my casserole together. So here's my squash. I want you to see just how beautiful it looks when it's roasted. Now, don't let anybody tell you that you've got to boil it in water and then squeeze all that water out. You'll just squeeze everything out and then it doesn't even look pretty. This looks pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this into my bowl, just like this. See, and where's the water? There's no water. It just works perfectly. Now here's my bacon and my onions. I had the plate slanted like this so you can see all the bacon grease on the side, because we don't want the bacon grease in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and dump all this good stuff in here. See? And here's the bacon grease. So you won't use that. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper. You can put as much as you want. And a little bit of salt. Now I'm not going to add too much salt because I am adding some cheese and you don't want it to be too salty. Now I'm going to add my cheese. I've got freshly grated cheddar cheese. You can use any cheese you want. So I'm going to add my cheese in here. And I'm going to set this that I have left over aside because I'm going to use it later. I'm going to put my mayo in here. And I also have some sour cream. See? I'm going to add my sour cream in here. Both of them together. The combination is delicious. Now I'm going to toss it together. And it's nice and hot. And the cheese is going to start melting in there. So you want to bring it all in together and make sure that everything is well incorporated. Now we're going to put it in our casserole dish. Now this casserole dish that I'm going to be using is about an 8.5, 9 by 11. I've got some non-stick spray. I'm going to just spray it lightly. So now I'm going to dump everything in my casserole dish. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit, just like this. You want to get it real nice and smooth. It'll give you a nice looking casserole. I'm going to go ahead and put this leftover cheese that I have right here on top. Now I'm going to go ahead and set it aside, and I'm going to get started on my breadcrumb topping. So I've got my heat set on medium-low, and in this small skillet, I'm going to go ahead and put in 1 tablespoon of melted butter. And I have 1/3 cup of Panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to go ahead and add them into my skillet. You want to make sure that your breadcrumbs and your butter come in together really well. And then after that, you want to continue moving it around until it gets to a real pretty golden brown. You don't want to leave it alone because it can burn on you really fast. And you don't want to have your heat up too high. But just take it slow and continue moving it around like this. And it'll start happening real soon. See? And this is just perfect. So I'm going to turn off my heat. And now I'm ready to top my casserole. Here's my casserole dish. I'm going to go ahead and top it with the breadcrumbs. You want to just spread it out, just as even as you can. And that's good. So I'll just lightly spread it. And that's it. So I've got my oven set at 350 degrees and it's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the middle rack in the center of the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until your cheese gets nice and melted, because everything's cooked and ready to go. So I'll see you in about 30 minutes. Ooh, look at this. This is super hot. See how pretty that looks? Mmm. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Mmm. The bacon and the onions with the cheese and the yellow squash together, seasoned so perfectly, is fit for a king. I know you're gonna love it. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, send me a comment and tell me what you think. Share this video with your friends and do subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you.